Has Google finally met its maker?
Hey, I'm Sam Dunning, founder over at BreakingB2B.com. In this episode, we're going to dive into exactly what SearchGPT is about, how it works, how it stacks up compared to Google search, my thoughts on who it's for, and also ideas on how you can start ranking your company, your business, your SaaS in SearchGPT by OpenAI. So with that, let's dive in and get stuck in straight away. Are you tired of competitors ranking above you on Google, stealing traffic, leads, and mindshare from dream clients every time they're searching for your services or offers on Google? At Breaking B2B, we fix that with our unusual approach to SEO, content marketing, and websites. We craft B2B SEO strategies and websites for revenue, not vanity. Head over to breakingb2b.com to check our results, pricing, or to book a call with me. First and foremost, when was it released? Well, it's only just dropped as of October 31st, so a couple of days before recording this episode. OpenAI dropped it. They've essentially integrated search facilities within ChatGPT itself, which we're about to dive into. And a couple of things you should know. It's, as of now, it's only available, as far as I know, to folks with either the beta access, or you can do what I did and pay $20 a month, so not a ton. Sign up for the bonus, the pro version of ChatGPT, and then you're going to get access. Another note to realize is that this is part of OpenAI's AI-powered search engine. It utilizes Microsoft Bing search technology, and the collab between Microsoft and OpenAI a while back is weaved into the infrastructure. So that's quoting directly from The Verge. So let's take a look at the tool. If you're watching as opposed to listening, I'm going to talk it through either way. So if I head straight into chatgpt.com, and a reminder, I've paid $20 a month to access the web version. So what can I help with? Click on search the web. And if we start with perhaps a simple tool, simple search, just to show the difference here between a traditional Google search. So something super simple. What is SearchGPT? And straight away, we're given an answer almost instantly. It's telling us pretty much what I've just recapped there. SearchGPT's prototype at this stage. It was originally launched in July 2024, but we've now covered that that's only just dropped end of October, and it's talking about how it works. But what you'll see straight away is, compared to traditional Google organic search, there is no ads at the top and there's no ads at the bottom. There's no ads at all. Are OpenAI going to weave in ads later along to SearchGPT? Possibly. Who am I to say? If they want to make money out of it, perhaps they will. The other thing, like I said, it's pulled up information straight away. And also, instead of the traditional blue links like you would get on a Google search, if I do something similar, if I search on Google, what is SearchGPT? You've got the blue links where we have to click through into a page, a landing page or article to trawl through to get the information. So straight away, you're presented with the info. And instead of having kind of direct blue links to click through, it cites who's given the piece of information. So for example, in the first paragraph, it's got a little almost hidden link to OpenAI. So I've got it set to dark mode on viewing this. And you'll see this when it's citing a source or quoting a source, it's all in dark OpenAI here. And at the bottom of the information of the search, you've got the sources that you can click into, opens a tab on the right-hand side, and then you can click through into all the links that it's pulled up. So straight away, we can see the search varies a fair bit in terms of no ads, almost instant results, and no traditional blue links to click into pages, but you can cite the sources, but they're a bit harder to navigate. So it's almost as if it wants you, SearchGPT wants to keep you within the user interface itself and not necessarily have you clicking through to pages, articles, or other sources, whereas that's traditionally been Google's model. So that's a good starting point. So a few facts, a few fairly interesting points. Built by OpenAI, Launched 31st of October, $20 a month, as we've said. So you're getting direct answers from real-time data, as well as AI responses, no ads, no blue links. Sources cited are much smaller and a bit more hidden, as we've seen. And as you can see, you can easily search and then add follow-up prompts. So it's more of a conversation tool than it is a kind of traditional search engine per Google. So as mostly B2B folks tend to tune in to these episodes and videos, let's perhaps tee up some traditional kind of what we call bottom of funnel B2B searches that a prospect might search for. We'll compare it to Google, we'll compare it to SearchGPT when they're perhaps in market, directly looking for a service, an offer, or a vendor. So let's start with something I often tee up. So in this case, best proposal software. So in this case on SearchGPT, I'm searching best proposal software. It's firing up the answers straight away. And we're presented with a bunch of the usual suspects. So it's got selecting the right proposal software can significantly enhance your business efficiency, creating, managing, and tracking proposals. Here's a list of the top ones to consider. We've got PandaDoc, Proposify, Better Proposals, usual suspects. And then we can click through. It looks like we've got a little write-up on each, and then you can click through to view the full version. And then at the bottom, again, you've got the sources that we can click to open, and when you click sources at the bottom, it opens up a right-hand panel where you can click into all the links that it's actually citing these listings from. And if we do similar, if I do the same search on Google to compare best proposal software, again, we've got the sponsored ads. Of course, SearchGPT gets rid of that. And then we've got traditional blue links. So in this case, first organic search is a listicle, a comparison of the top 10. So let's go for a different stage in the funnel this time. This one I found quite interesting when I was looking earlier. So I'm going to go for something quite crisp and quite specific using the job to be done framework. How to build a killer sales demo for a CMO. Let's make sure that's on the search. Searching the web. So how to build a killer sales demo for a CMO. And then straight away, I've got quite a detailed breakdown. I won't read the full thing, but it says creating an impactful sales demo tailored for a chief marketing officer requires a strategic approach. So it's broken down into phases: conduct thorough research, customize demo, highlight key features and benefits, engage with interactive elements. And it's worth noting for those listening in, each one of these points has got bullet points within it to break it down what's involved. Keep the demo concise and focused, follow up with personalized comms. And then by implementing these strategies, you can create a sales demo that effectively resonates with a CMO, addressing their needs and brings value. And then right at the bottom, as I said, you've got the sources. So no need to click through to blue links to get the info. Straight away, you're getting a detailed summary to give you some kind of action items for creating that killer sales demo specifically for a CMO. And again, yeah, you can cite the sources if you want to dip into that. Let's try how that compares to a Google search. So let's Google how to build a killer sales demo for a CMO. So we don't have an AI overviews answer for this in Google's case. We do have a featured snippet from HubSpot, which has got, again, that's not specifically for CMO. So the featured snippet, that's the featured organic result from HubSpot, it's not tailored to a CMO. It's just the ultimate, it's just quoting something from the ultimate guide for sales demos. So on that specific search, interestingly, SearchGPT is probably giving us a better experience at the top of the funnel. So it's not like we're ready to buy something when we're searching how to build a killer sales demo for a CMO, but it's given us a good in-depth idea with something useful from SearchGPT. So I would say that SearchGPT probably wins that one. Let's move out of the B2B space for a second and let's try something more localized. So if I search just a general local search, in this case, tree surgeons near me. So let's pretend I want to use SearchGPT. My tree's just fallen down in my garden and I want to see if there's someone that can help me out. Tree surgeons near me, SearchGPT. If you're seeking professional tree surgeons in Yeovil, yep, it's got my location right. Here's some reputable local services to consider. And then it's got some Yeovil's tree surgeons with the info and their number. And on the right-hand side, it's got the cited sources for each. And I can click into it. It looks like, interestingly, each one of these blue links that it's actually now given blue links in SearchGPT is linking out to Google Maps, which is interesting they've done that. So that in this result for local tree surgeons, local businesses, that looks like they're pulling data from Google Maps, which is quite interesting. So yeah, it's basically got a full list of those. It's got, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 12 listings. And I can open up the sources where it's pulled them. And it looks like it's pulled them from 𝗥𝗲𝗃𝗁, some websites itself, and of course, Google listings. So it's pulling info from Google local, Google My Business for some of these, which is quite interesting in itself. Let's go back to a B2B search. Let's try again, quite a common one in the SaaS world, in B2B SaaS, B2B software, B2B technology, is comparing vendors. So if folks are on the fence about choosing, when they get to evaluation stage, they choose 3 or 4 vendors, usually make a shortlist before they decide what software to compare. Maybe we'll search something like, let's go for Calendly alternatives. There we go. So for those who haven't heard of Calendly, it's a calendar scheduling tool, typically that you'll use to allow folks to easily book a time with your sales team on your website. And yeah, it's a similar kind of search to one we did before. If you're exploring alternatives for Calendly, here's some notable alternatives. And it's got a list of things like ClickUp, Doodle, You Can Book Me. And I suppose this is kind of useful. And then it's got the sources cited. Whereas if we did something similar on Google, let's do that on Google, Calendly alternatives. Doesn't look like we get any AI overview result on Google. Again, we get the sponsored ads. And the first organic listing is actually a listicle, an article page where you can get the ultimate list. So is SearchGPT more helpful on this? Not necessarily. I think what I can see right now, certainly from a B2B perspective, is if you want quick, in-depth tactical responses for specific queries, then I think SearchGPT does a really nice job of that. So like I did earlier, how to do something. So maybe we can do another one, how to build a case for SEO to present to your marketing team. So I've just searched on SearchGPT, something similar, how to build a case for SEO to present to your marketing team. And again, it's giving me how many, 6 points with sub-bullet points for each. So align SEO business objectives, analyze competitive landscape, present data-driven insights, outline resource requirements, address potential challenges, highlight long-term benefits, and then follow this approach. And you can look to get an ROI for SEO to present to your marketing team. And then again, it's got the sources there, so you can actually click through to the links if you wish. So I think where SearchGPT is excelling for me is when you want quite specific queries where you don't necessarily want to mess around clicking through to pages like you would traditionally with Google. You just want to get quite a quick answer, and then it's quite conversational. So if you wanted to say, if you wanted to then add something to that query to maybe make it a bit more longer tail or get a bit more info, what if I want to present this to my CRO? I'm just layering on that. Yeah, so straight away, which isn't really something you can do with Google search. So in this case, I've carried on that question about making a business case for SEO to my marketing team. And I've layered the next question is, what if I want to present this to my CRO, my chief revenue officer? And then again, it's giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. To be fair, they look very similar to the first set. So I'm not going to give SearchGPT too much in that case, but certainly on some of these queries for quick responses, it's pretty cool. So let's get back to why you should use it. So why should you use it? Well, ramp up traffic, ramp up visibility, ramp up brand, ramp up mind share. It's another platform. So it's as well as Google search, as well as Bing, as well as DuckDuckGo, any other platform you want to think about for search. It's a new way to get potential traffic, signups, leads, sales calls, mind share, brand reputation to your website. You can get in early. It's literally only just gone live. So it's a new way in to start ramping up traffic, brand, and mindshare. And of course, the chances are the users using SearchGPT is only going to increase over time. Next point, super relevant. I think it's far too easy. A ton of people are saying that, is Google dead? Is SEO traditionally for Google search dead? Of course it's not. I mean, right now, ChatGPT is getting over 10 million queries per day per The Verge, but compare that to Google, 8.5 billion searches per day. That's cited from Demand Sage. So far, far too early to say Google's dead. I think, yeah, SearchGPT certainly has its use cases, as we've seen. But I think people are so stuck in their ways for Google, certainly for kind of those buying queries, especially in the B2B space, when someone's ready to look for a vendor, they're so used to just searching on Google. So I think that's something to think. And also, it's more difficult for folks to click through to links or citations within SearchGPT. So that's something. Direct traffic might not be as high from SearchGPT because it looks like it's encouraging folks not to click through. But brand recognition, brand recall, and then things like dark social, where folks discuss brands within Slack communities, Discord, or whatever channel you use to discuss your exec team, that could be impacted quite a lot, I think. So the juicy one, how can you actually rank? I've rambled on a lot about what's involved, how it compares to Google. So here's a few things that I've grabbed from watching videos, reading a ton of articles, speaking to other folks in SEO and B2B marketing. Here's a few things that seem to stand out. And a lot of these are, to be fair, quite similar to SEO with a few nuances. So making sure your pages are clearly structured. So what I mean by that is clearly outlining how the pages are formatted so they're super easy for folks to read in terms of skimmable blogs or skimmable landing pages and how the headings and such are formatted. Engaging content. So what do I mean by that? Well, I mean things like weaving in embedded videos, YouTube videos, maybe infographics, maybe walkthroughs, screenshots of your product, maybe live demos if you're in SaaS, customer quotes, testimonials, social proof, trust signals, all that good stuff that can be engaging and content rich. Making sure your content for your landing page, your article is fresh, it's relevant. So think of the classic Google framework, EEAT. Make sure your pages show experience, expertise, authority, and trust. So make sure if you're writing on a topic or an article, whatever it may be, that whoever's building out the content is a subject matter expert and you're leveraging points that your dream clients actually care about. So whether you're talking about problems, impacts of problems, how your offer is the painkiller, the solution to those problems, and layering in proof points, statistics, or whatever can back those claims up. Writing in a conversational manner is important. So AI seems to like the fact if you write in a conversational format, as SearchGPT is more conversational, you can do a query, then you can layer it. You can do quite long tail searches that are more in depth, more instant responses compared to Google. That seems to work well. And with that, relevant is going after crisp and specific long tail keywords. So rather than a simple search like proposal software or what is the best proposal software and why, or how can I go about finding the best proposal software for my business, or I'm struggling to move sales data from Google Suite to wherever you're trying to move it to another tool. So thinking about those long tail specific crisp keywords that your prospects, your sales customers, maybe your customer success are coming up and getting stumbling blocks on time to time. Similar point, addressing common queries, questions, addressing common objections. I love to mine sales calls, Gong calls, Chorus calls, Fathom calls, all those call recording softwares, as well as Intel. I love getting together with my sales team when I work with clients, understanding what their sales team are bringing up, what the common questions they're getting on specific topics that you're writing about for your pages time and time again. So we can leverage those with the content, with FAQ sections and more, or address them in your YouTube videos that you're embedding on pages, as well as getting with your customer success team. And then, yeah, basic technical SEO stuff. So only one H1 that's relevant to your target long tail keyword, making sure your URL has the main keyword in, making sure the website loads nice and quick on mobile, tablet, and PC. It has a good mobile view as well as tablet and PC, making sure that the structure of the page is well formatted. So H1, H2s, H3s. It's easy to consume, bullet points broken up, leveraging rich media like we talked about. And other interesting things are, it seems like from what I've read, backlinks, more important to go after quality ones rather than volume, which pretty similar to SEO, making sure they're niche relevant. But also brand mentions apparently are quite good. So rather than just I don't know, a press release or an article or a company's linking back to you, but actually mentioning your brand as well seems to be valuable. And yeah, strengthening trust signals. So a bit like what Google looks for when it ranks pages, those trust signals, where they're links, where they're brand mentions, and so on, in niche relevant sites to actually what you're serving. So with that said, who do I think it's going to impact the most? I think companies that are going to get the most impacted are the ones that have tech savvy prospects, the ones that go after clients that are a bit more technical. Traditional users, I think, are just going to go to Google and search their query for now, whether that's on the mobile or their desktop, whether they're searching how to, whether they're searching for a brand, whether they're searching for a piece of software or comparing vendors or searching to fix a problem. I think they're going to stick to Google. I think more tech savvy folks, especially folks that go after people in the IT space, maybe a lot of SaaS brands that go after B2B marketers and similar, or IT folks, are gonna need to leverage this, especially sooner rather than later, because I think these people are going to get frustrated with traditional Google results. And like we saw earlier in this episode, those more technical, those more in-depth, those more crisp questions, you can get an instant answer. And I think if you can start leveraging and start looking to rank on SearchGPT, then that's going to be a bit of an unfair advantage. If you've got more of a technical, more of a tech-savvy audience, I think that's worth knowing. Final thoughts on the topic. Well, like I talked about earlier, ChatGPT, roughly 10 million plus users a day, or searches per day rather, per The Verge. Google, 8.5 billion searches per day per demand search. Google's far from dead, still a super good way to capture demand for folks needing your offer now, comparing other vendors, searching for a problem you fix. A great way if you build out a solid SEO strategy to ramp leads, sales calls, signups, or demos. But SearchGPT is definitely something that if you've got resource that you want to start tapping into and thinking about as you build out your wider search engine strategy. If you found this episode useful, plenty more on the Breaking B2B podcast. Just head over to breakingb2b.com. And if you've perhaps tuned in to this for the last 20 minutes or so, and you're maybe feeling a little bit tired, a little bit frustrated that every time your dream clients are searching, in this case, probably mostly right now on Google for your offer, maybe searching for problems you fix or comparing you to other vendors, you're tired of seeing competitors above you in organic search results, stealing traffic, stealing leads, stealing mindshare, stealing inbound opportunity, then we might be able to fix that for your B2B or your SaaS or tech company at breakingb2b.com. Head over to breakingb2b.com to book yourself a call. Happy to chat through and see if we can help, or just check out the podcast or check out the newsletter for a bunch of actionable tips on SEO and B2B marketing and what actually works today. And with that, I shall catch you on the next one. Appreciate you tuning in. Cheers.